welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about an eyeshadow technique called the halo eye or the spotlight eye. A while back on my channel I did a how-to halo technique for hooded eyes, and I kind of did what I'm going to do today and took you step by step through the technique. But also in this video I want to explain to you why I feel like why I've come to the conclusion that this is the most flattering technique for a hooded eye. Now when I say hooded eye, it means different things to different people. There are a type of eye called a monolid. There's also a type of hooded eye that's more deep set. So it's not necessarily having excess skin that folds down or a hood that you actually have to lift up to apply shadow to. Some people have a more prominent bone that comes down a little bit towards their lashes, so they consider themselves to have a hooded eye. And that's fine. I've said this before. I've watched videos, I'm sure you've watched videos, I'm sure people have watched my videos and looked at the screen and said, that is not a hooded eye. So I consider myself as a makeup artist for over 20 years to have a classic hooded eye, and it gets more hooded as I age. And I know a lot of you email me, message me telling me that, Risa, my eyes are even way more hooded than yours. They're super puffy. What do I do? So we all know the basic rules of color and light, that light colors bring things forward and dark colors makes them recede. Now if you have a very hooded eye and you have a lot of puffy skin and it's hanging down, sometimes blurring your vision, and you can't get an eye lift or have the surgery that takes out some of that puffiness, you're wondering what's the best way to apply my eyeshadow. Now in theory, you would put a darker color in that area to make it recede, but that can easily go very, very wrong. Now, while I feel I can still get away with that, doing a really dark, smoky eye with matte browns and even blacks, not everybody feels that way. That could make you feel, that could make you look like you have two very bruised eyes. So you have to know your skin tone, you have to know your comfort level, your age, all of that is gonna play into what you're gonna be comfortable with. So while this look might be way too much for a lot of you, you don't have to use these exact colors. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette today because it's one of my new favorites. I feel like it has so many beautiful, flattering colors for people, but you don't have to use the darker shades that I showed. Oh, my dog decided to come in. So my dog Pebbles decided just to bust in the door right now. That's why it's open. What I was saying is you don't have to use these darker colors that I put on the inner and outer corners. You can use lighter shades. The point of this video is just to show you the technique, the brushes, how to blend it. You could obviously use whatever color you would like in the center, but another reason why I like this spotlight or halo eye is because sometimes those of us with hooded eyes are told that we have to do such boring looks, that we can't use that shimmer because you can't see it on our lid, so it's confined to such a small area. Well, it kind of is in this look, but it still has an impact, especially when you look down, or if you're out to dinner and you're in nice candlelight and just that little light reflection is so pretty, and it gives our eyes dimension. And you're gonna see when I start the tutorial, which will be any second now, I will stop talking, you will see what a dramatic difference it makes in my eyes. So without further ado, let's get to the tutorial on how to do a spotlight, aka halo eye. I want to start by talking about why I feel that the halo or spotlight eye is the best technique for someone with a standard hooded eye like myself, where there is no real defined crease. The hood of my lid, there's a lot of skin here. Are there people that have a lot more puffiness through here and a lot more of a hood? Of course there are. That definitely comes, some people have it their whole life. Sometimes it just comes with age where the hood falls even further. And a lot of times people with hooded eyes also have smaller eyes, much like myself. So as you can see with this technique, by adding darkness in the fleshy area over here and the fleshy area in here, I'm giving the illusion of having a crease. It doesn't look so flat. So what we're doing with this technique is we're playing with light and making it seem like our eyes are bigger and that our crease is more defined. So I'm starting with a little MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. I'm putting just a little bit on my middle finger and then applying it over my lids. I know some people put a large amount of this on. They cover the whole eye very thickly. I prefer just to do a very, very thin coating. I'm beginning with the shade Burnt Orange, and I'm taking a Sigma E40 tapered blending brush. So now I'm putting my chin up and looking down into a mirror so that I can see the entirety of my eyelid. And I'm starting at the outer corner and just lightly buffing it back and forth into my crease. And then what I like to do is I like to make little circles on the outer corner and then circle as I come in. Next, I'm going in with a Smith 230 brush. It's a little bit smaller than that Sigma brush, and I'm going into the shade Sienna. Now, instead of looking up and having my chin down like I did with the orange soda, I'm looking directly into the mirror because that way you can see where your crease is supposed to be if you had a crease, so it's not gonna end up as high as the orange soda. So I'm looking straight ahead. I kind of push into where I believe the crease would be. Start on the outer corner and blend inward. And then do the same motion, just back and forth, back and forth. Then I'm going back with the first brush and just blending it all out. My favorite brush to do a halo or spotlight eye is this one from Samey Beauty. I'm going into the shade Mulberry, and I always tap off my excess. So now I'm taking this and applying it to the outer corner. And because my eyes are small, I don't wanna come too far in. It's gonna depend on how much lid space you actually have or how big your eyes are. But if I come in too much, I don't have enough room to do the actual spotlight or halo. So I'm just keeping it right at the outer corner. And don't worry if you feel like you've gotten it down too low over here because you can always just clean it up. And I'm just kind of pressing it in. And then I'm doing the same thing. I'm raising my brows so I can access that area a little bit better. And I'm just kind of swiping down. Again, trying to leave a decent amount of space for the spotlight. This next step is totally optional. You can just leave it as is and go ahead and start working on whatever shade you're gonna put in the spotlight. But I wanna take a little bit of the Noir color, which is just the black in the palette, and I'm going to deepen it up a little bit. And I'm just tapping. I'm not really even blending at all. I'm just tapping the black in that area. And then as always, going back and blending the upper portion. Next, I'm taking this Trish McEvoy Essential Eye Base. This is in the shade Demure, but you can also use a concealer for this. And all I'm going to be doing, because I have such small eyes and such a small area to cover, I can easily mess up my whole eyeshadow look. So I'm just dotting a little tiny bit on the lid. Then I'm taking a flat synthetic brush. This one is from MAC. I cannot read the number. I think it says 343. It's really, really old. But I'm taking it and I am just blending out that concealer, or in this case, I'm using that Trish eyeshadow base. And you wanna go up, like you can put the brush to where you think it should go, close your eyes, and that'll tell you, see that my hood falls right on top of it? So that's how I know how far to go up with my halo, or if I were to be doing a cut crease. That's how I know, because the hood falls right on top of it. Now I'm taking a Delium Tool 773. I'm using the shade Bronze, but you can use anything. You can use this color, whatever you want to put in your spotlight, that's the color you choose. So I'm just pressing it over the area that I put the eye base. And then I'm going back with the Samey brush and blending them together, blending the bronze in with the Noir. I didn't add any more color to this brush. I'm just using whatever is left over on it. And then I'm going back in with the burnt orange and the Sigma brush and just gently going over the top of everything. Now I'm going in with the shade Tempera. I'm just using some random flat shader brush, and I am highlighting underneath my brow. And I'm also bringing it in, trying to get that area where the shadow doesn't stick to. And this also kind of erases and blends any harsh lines around the orange soda. Okay, now I'm gonna go apply my concealer and come back and finish off the eyes. For my concealer, I use the Kevyn Aucoin Etherealist in the shade Light. Now I'm setting it with Manna Kadar's powder in C2. Now for the bottom lash line, you can either leave it bare or you can go right in with burnt orange or sienna and smudge out the bottom. I'm gonna take a little bit of this Marc Jacobs eye pencil and run it under my lower lash line. Kind of connect it to where I have that outer corner shade, which was Noir. Then using Stila brush 28, I'm dipping my brush into both burnt orange and sienna, and then tapping off my excess, and then smudging out the lower lash line. And then I'm noticing I have a little gap in there. I'm going back with this tiny brush into the mulberry and touching it up. And going back in with the Same brush and blending it. I went ahead and curled my lashes, applied my mascara, and you can finish here. You can totally be done here, but if you're familiar with my channel at all, you know I love to use lashes. Lately, I've been really liking these trio lashes from Kiss. These are the small and mediums. They're so easy to apply, and they're great for creating a custom look. So I'm gonna put a couple of shorts in the inner corners, and then just a couple of the mediums in the outer. So I put a little bit of glue in the well here, and you wanna make sure you give it about 30 seconds to a minute to get tacky. Otherwise, the lashes are gonna slide all over when you try to apply them. I also popped out with my fingers a couple of them and stuck them outside of their containers. A lot of times when I try to use my tweezers to grab them out, it ends up ripping the lash. So just gently pulling them with your finger and then setting them on the tray while the glue gets tacky is the best way I found. And now that the glue is mostly dry on the lashes, I'm gonna go back in with the highlighter I used, which is the Opal from Becca. And I'm gonna place that in the inner corner. So this is the finished Spotlight Halo Eye. And for the rest of my face, I used the Laura Gellar Baked Blush and Brighten in Peach Delight. My lips are YSL Lip Liner number 13 with Anastasia Beverly Hills Stripped Liquid Lipstick. And I'm gonna put on a little bit more of this. This is the Tropez Lip Topper from Jouer. All right, that concludes this tutorial on how to do a spotlight or halo eye on a hooded eye shape. And I've kind of explained to you why I feel that this is the most flattering on my type of eye shape. Like you, I have tried many other techniques. Some I like, some didn't work out so well. And I do sometimes still do a wing liner with tape and do more of a cat eye. But I really find that a more rounded look like this, where it's not doesn't have such sharp edges or wing liner, it's just more flattering. I've just noticed that in this age of social media where, you know, I'm trying to promote myself on Instagram, so I take a lot of makeup photos and selfies, and it's great to look back on. And even with these videos, I can look back and say, oh, I really like that makeup look, or, you know what, I thought this one was more flattering and this one was a little less flattering. So just in looking back on everything, I just really feel like this type of look is the most flattering for me. So I'm really hoping that if you look at me and you see a similar eye shape, that you'll try this out and that maybe you'll come to the same conclusion. And you got hopefully a nice tutorial out of your Soft Glam palette if you did pick that up recently since it came out. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. It just helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get your videos more promoted. I know some people think, well, what's the big deal? And even those thumbs down that some people leave, those help too. So we appreciate, us creators, we appreciate those so much. Also, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I would love that too. Just click that subscribe button. I try to upload at least twice a week. I am hoping to get a schedule down where I do, you know, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm trying to come up with what is doable for me. Hopefully I can nail down a real schedule for you and make that announcement and post it on my page, my main Risa Does Makeup landing page. You can also find me on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and Twitter. Those are all Risa Does Makeup. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.